Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Cece and today we're going to be discussing the nice guy trope. So I have been back in the dating game for about 9 months now. And when I tell you I have been on multiple dates and talked to multiple guys who have tried to get me with the nice guy card. Now, these aren't your typical love interests. These aren't the guys who have girls lining up on the side. They are still considered pretty good looking, but contrary to what most women believe are the intentions of most men, they are the ones that seem to have pure and genuine intentions. These are the guys looking for love. They just seem to have a harder time doing so. They are the dating world's underdogs, and women are constantly friend zoning them under the gaze of them being too nice. Some of the world's favorite nice guys: Michael Scott from The Office, Walter from Breaking Bad, Ross from Friends.
Wow.
And even Clay Jensen from 13 Reasons Why. Pick me boys. Is it real or is it a facade? Let's connect some of the ideas of misogyny and how being a pick me guy or a nice guy is literally just undercover misogyny. Undercover casual misogyny can lead to more extreme forms of misogyny and incels. So what exactly is a pick-me boy? And what is nice guy syndrome? Pick-me boys and nice guys might both sound the same because they kind of give off the same energy. They are very similar, but they do have differences.
And we got the kiss count. Oh. Denied.
You hate to see that.
So let's highlight those differences by defining what they mean using the most credible source, Urban Dictionary, so that you guys can get a better idea of what I'm talking about and so that we can take a deeper look into those differences. Let's start off with pick-me boys. The first definition that I found for a pick-me boy is a guy who uses self-deprecation in a manipulative way so that a girl will date him.
You probably didn't even notice.
They will say bad things about themselves to try and get the girl to oppose what they've said.
Why would a beautiful girl like you even notice my ugly hair?
Another definition of a pick-me boy is these are the types of guys that emotionally manipulate and gaslight girls by using self-deprecating languages in hopes of the girl contradicting them. They will often mention how ugly they are and wait for the girl to disagree. If the girl disagrees, then they will take that as a sign that the girl is into them, and they will be overly pushy by confessing their attraction or asking them out.
Do you want to date me now?
If the girl rejects them, they will become angry and say how nice guys are always finishing last and all girls are the same. They are obsessed over how they aren't like other guys.
I'm not like other guys.
These are the where my hug at dudes.
You're looking fine, woman.
So an example of the type of dialogue or an interaction that a woman might have with this type of guy would be something like, "Hey, you're so pretty. You probably wouldn't like me because I'm ugly." He threw the bait. Instinctively, most women will immediately want to negate what was just said. So you might respond with something like, "You're not ugly. I'm sure someone would find you attractive," or something along those lines, not realizing that that was the hook and he's getting ready to reel it in. Most women, we take the bait. Even though we're hyper aware of these type of men, a lot of us can't help it. Because then they'd be like, "Really? Do you think I'm cute?" Then no matter how you respond, it's an issue. Long story short, they're just annoying.
But you're not running away, you're sitting there.
A nice guy, on the other hand, has two different meanings, or is either one of two types. The first is being a guy who is genuinely kind and caring. He's polite to everyone regardless of sex, age, or race. He has no ulterior motive, i.e. he is not nice to get a reward. He genuinely behaves in such a manner because it's human decency.
Hilda, are you decent?
The second kind of guy who is a nice guy is the one who has ulterior motives. He believes that because he behaves in a certain way, the world owes him for his actions. He doesn't make it clear what he desires from the beginning and becomes angry when he doesn't get what he wants. So, long story short, these are the types of guys that believe that regular acts of kindness should be exchanged for sexual favors. The type of interaction you might have with a nice guy might look something like this. He takes you out to dinner. He's really sweet. He treats you very kindly. Then the bill comes out. He's like, "I got it. Don't worry, I got it. And you're like, "Oh my God, he's so sweet. He got the bill." He asks if he can come over and you're like, "No, I don't do that on the first date." Then comes the switch up. Now it's, you can get your own food.
Babe, are we fucking tonight?
Absolutely not.
Split that bitch.
You like bad boys, don't you? You used me as a meal ticket. But it's like, sir, you were just trying to use me as a pocket pussy. I think some men just like to dehumanize women so much to the point where they think that we are machines that they can just put kindness coins into until sex falls out. Being nice does not obligate a woman to develop a sexual or romantic interest in anyone. Despite your kindness, if she does not like you, it does not mean she's only into assholes. Going even further, let's define nice guy syndrome. A spectrum social disorder that makes a man think that he's entitled to date or have sexual relationships with women simply because he sees himself as a good person. So as you guys can see, they are very similar but still different, but they are all rooted in the same thing, which is misogyny. That brings me to my next question, which is why? Just why? Why do they exist? Why do they go and say what they say and do what they do? Are they not aware of their pick-me or nice guy tendencies? Is this a character flaw? Is it subconscious? Is it a dating tactic that they believe truly works? Just why? I can't speak from a male perspective, but I think that nice guys and pick-me's, and I know that they're different, but I'm just gonna lump them together. I genuinely think that a majority of men think that women will feel sorry for them. A lot of men have an unrealistic idea and certain unrealistic expectations of women solely based on the fact that they are women. Since when did pursuing someone who doesn't want your ass become romantic? The idea of persistence, and if being pursued long enough, a woman will start to feel pity or decide to finally give the nice guy a chance. The interesting thing is that they genuinely don't seem to see anything wrong with it, and they completely victimize themselves even though they are just oozing misogyny. That's the thing. It's not outright blatant misogyny per se, it's undercover misogyny. When you think of the word misogyny, I think a lot of people think that it's outright and vocal, like, I hate women, period. And that's not true. For men who might use it as a dating tactic, and let's say we give them the benefit of the doubt, and let's say that they don't know any better. The reality of the situation is that this will not work on women who are well-versed in the ways of the fuckery of men, aka women who have a lot of dating experience. They see right through you. And newsflash to all the pick-me boys and nice guys, the reason why girls don't like you is because you're not actually nice. You use nice behavior to try and get with them. You guys are walking red flags. This is all deeply rooted in misogyny. The type that runs so deep that most men can't even recognize it as misogyny. These men go around believing that women owe you sex or a relationship and are incapable of understanding platonic friendships between men and women. Because guess what? They serve no purpose. There's no use in having a female friend because they only value women for one thing: sex. They put sex on a pedestal and place an extremely high value on sexual romantic relationships with women because from a young age, even though women are taught that sex is bad or risque and to cover up so they don't distract men because their shoulders are apparently super distracting, men have been conditioned to believe that sex, and lots of it, is a measurement of their masculinity. More sex equals more masculinity, and more masculinity equals good. They don't have an understanding of what it takes to be in a romantic relationship. They genuinely think that all you have to do is be nice. It's being the bare minimum. PSA, being nice is not enough. Being in a romantic relationship takes so much more than just having a nice partner. Ladies, I know that you know if we just flocked to every guy that was nice to us, child, let me not even get into it. To be honest, we live in a cruel, cruel world. And I say that because I feel like there's a lot of these guys that just end up falling deeper and deeper into their pick-me persona because they are constantly being rejected. It creates this never-ending cycle, and it's like they're incapable of being self-critical because instead of taking a step back and self-reflecting and being like, maybe I'm doing something wrong, they start blame shifting. So whose fault is it? Women. Women. Men are like this. Men are horrible at introspection. Like, babes, the math is not mathing. The equation is not equating because the common denominator is you. Quite frankly, as a woman, you are damned if you do and damned if you don't. You can't be too nice because if you are, then you're a flirt or a tease and you lead people on. But God forbid you have some boundaries. You come off as rude, then you're a good for nothing, stank ass, lying ass, wasn't even cute in the first place ass, broke ass, $2 hoe, and you a bitch. Either which way, the fact is that women have to be careful of how they are coming off to men because no matter what they do, there is potential that rejection of a man could could put them in a dangerous situation. Rejection should not lead to violence. That is so far beyond anything that I could understand. Which brings me to my next topic, incels. Let's dive right into it. The term incel is short for involuntary celibate. These are the dudes that want to get it on when they can't even get it. They want some coochie meow meow, but they ain't willing down. They want some poom poom, but they can't get it, so they doomed. They want some cocoa, but they ain't getting none, so they going loco. No, I'm not making the point that all nice guys and pick-me's eventually become incels, but I do want to highlight how casual misogyny in the forms of being a nice guy or a pick-me could potentially lead to more extreme versions of misogyny. From what I understand, the incel movement is a largely anti-feminism and anti-women movement. They believe that men are actually the oppressed ones in society and that men actually are the victims of sexism and not women. The male privilege is a myth and that feminism is horrible evil that advocates for women's dominance over men and that we live in a world that is designed to keep men at the bottom. They believe that looks overpower everything, so if you're seen as conventionally unattractive, you might as well give up. A lot of incels will blame their looks as the reason why they can't seem to get any. I know you might want to argue that that can easily be disproved, as we see a lot of couples in which the woman might be out of her man's league. But the counter argument that the incels have for that is that at that point, when a woman is older and she's ready to settle down, she will do so with someone who is less attractive but has more money so that they can use them for financial stability. So they just genuinely don't think that women have good intentions and that a woman cannot be an incel because no matter how ugly a woman might be, she will still find someone who wants to sleep with her. Men are not mad that women are having sex because clearly they want to sleep with them. They get upset that they are not the ones being chosen. The thing is, often these men, incels, nice guys, pick-me's, are not unattractive. It's the attitude, the hatred towards themselves, and women topped off with the lack of self-esteem that doesn't really make them appealing as partners. So for example, I recently went on a Tinder date. I know. I recently went on a Tinder date and the guy, I thought he was like pretty cute. I saw in his profile that he didn't put his height. And I know that some people might think like, oh, preferring somebody based on how tall they are, their height is like really vain and stuff like that. I think it's a preference and I think that it's fair. But he didn't put his height in his bio. And then when we met up at the restaurant, he is driving like this big truck. He steps out. He was 4'11". I didn't want to be rude, so I continue the date. We go inside the restaurant, we're sitting down, we're eating, chatting, conversing, and like all that stuff. And I was really trying not to give off negative energy. And he just kept mentioning, he was like, yeah, I'm short. Girls don't normally like me because I'm short. I'm short. And I was just like, oh, that's crazy. Like, because I really didn't know what to say. But I guess he could like really pick up on it. And then he was just like, well, you don't like short guys, do you? Like girls don't like me because I'm short. So I guess you're the same. And then I didn't want to say anything. And I was like, oh no, like you have a great personality. Like you're really nice. That's the bait right there. And I was trying to like, I don't want to destroy somebody's self-confidence. So I was trying to be really nice and just be like, no, like height doesn't matter to other women. You know, there's those, shout out to the girlies where height doesn't matter, looks doesn't matter, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the personality girlies. I'm not one of them. I'm not. Shout out to the personality over looks girlies. So then towards the end of the date or whatever, after he did all the nice guying and stuff like that, I was like, I don't really wanna do this again. And he came for my neck. He was literally just like, fuck you, you stupid bitch. Like he went in on me and I was like, the amount of bullshit that I could have said, I could have said, first of all, Sade, I'm gonna need you to like grow at least another 10 inches before you try to talk to me. You wanna talk shit, we gotta be at eye level. I'm not talking to nobody. I'm not entertaining nobody talking shit to me if I gotta look down at you. Yeah, should have told him to grow up. Wanna disrespect me? I'm like, boy, you look like you need to get a stepping stool to get into your car. Yeah, don't play with it, don't play with it, don't play with it, don't play with it, don't play with it. Disrespectful, oh. It's like I was cute when you wanted to fuck me, but now there's an issue. Like, please. That was a lot to talk about, and I'm sure that it was a lot to digest, but let's go ahead and continue the conversation in the comments section. Leave me your thoughts. Thanks for tuning in to today's video. If you like these videos and want to see more, then don't forget to like and subscribe, but also tune in, turn on your notification bell so you get notifications when I drop a new video, and tune in next time.